can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Your home for betting tips and analysis. Please click the link in the description to find out more, whether you're looking for the latest odds on the latest fights or something else entirely, whether it be to do with football, horse racing, or a different sport as well. Paul, good to be joined by you as always. This is a betting tip show for the big fighting place in London will face Ramon Cardenas, the Texan who's 26-1. That one loss coming a long time ago. Um, it's a foregone conclusion what's going to happen. If we're honest here, Paul, Inoue hugely expected to win this fight as he always does, and expected to win by stoppage. But we're going to try and find some value as we like to do, and yeah, we'll see what other people think. I'll hand things over to you, Paul. What's your betting tip for this fight, please?
Yeah, mate, I think thanks for having me on first and foremost. I think you're right in what you said. It is a foregone conclusion. There's no point beating around the bush. I think 99% of boxing fans will be backing Inoue to win this fight. And, of that 99%, you'd say that 99% of them will probably be backing him to win it via knockout. Um, I am one of them. I believe that, yeah, I think it's a completely different level here, Inoue from Cardenas. I don't think Cardenas has been in with anyone half as good as Inoue. I don't see him causing Inoue any issues. My betting tip is for Inoue to win in rounds 4 to 6. So depending on what betting site you use, I'm seeing odds of around 15 to 8 for that. The reason I've gone for 4 to 6 is I think we've seen with his recent performances quite a lot of the time Inoue does not even throw a punch really for a round or two. Um, Downloading the data kind of thing is what people I suppose they like to say. I think he'll do that and then maybe start put his foot on the gas from the third onwards. And I think he'll just get out of there in maybe the fifth or sixth round, just before the halfway mark. So yeah, anyway, around 4 to 6 is my betting tip for the fight on Sunday.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's a strange one with Inoue because I feel like when he kind of came onto the scene, um, he was knocking a lot of guys out in the early rounds. Jamie McDonnell being one of note there. Emmanuel Rodriguez was a second round, and then it just feels like the last 7, 8 of his fights really. That's not happened too much. I mean, even his last fight against Yi John Kim, who was that fight was expected to last, maybe half a round. He ended up going 4 rounds with him. TJ Dehenny as well. The fight before was 7 rounds, which was again a lot of people thought two, maybe 3 rounds. So I think that's a good tip. Before we get on to my tip, I'm sharing one as well. Our partner Sharp Betting have released the latest odds that give an implied probability that Inoue has a 95% chance of winning this fight. So not the most kind of we're not expecting a competitive fight here, but do you think 95% is an exaggeration? Cardenas he's got one loss in his record, which was a long time ago, 14 stoppages and 26 wins. He's not kind of some guy they've just kind of found off the street. Do you think it's 95 is a bit of an exaggeration? Do you think it should be more like kind of 80, 85 or something like that? Or do you think 95% is fair? Do you think it should be more than 95%?
I mean, it's one of them where, like, on paper, Cardenas's record, you're like, oh yeah, it's credible. Without dissecting it, you're like, oh, whatever. He's only one defeat. He's decent knockout ratio for those weights as well. But when you actually look at it, mate, yeah, 95 is probably about bang on. I would maybe even argue that closer to 100, to be honest. There's always that. There's always, no matter who you're fighting, there's always that one chance that you could get caught and stopped. But realistically, that's not going to happen, is it? To Naoya. So I would say 95 is fairly bang on, maybe even higher, closer to 100 for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think this it's not Inouye's American debut. It's the first time he's fighting in America for a while. So I just don't think now's the time to put him against kind of an undefeated opponent, a risky opponent, someone who's maybe a lot fresher than him. Inoue, kind of 32 years old now, so not a young fighter anymore. So yeah, I think that's fair, but I just think we're all set up for not much of a spectacle, just more of a beat down. That's the expectation here. in terms of my tip pool, I'm going for something similar, but something kind of let's yeah, something a bit different to yourself. I'm going rounds 7 to 9, with odds of 10 to 3. So decent odds there. I just think that I can't help but think that time after time we've kind of sat down to watch the Inoue fight, and it's the vast majority of the time it's gone later than we think it's going to. He does get the stoppage eventually a lot of the time, but yeah, I think that that value 10 to 3, round 7 to 9, really kind of really reaches out to me if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's I can't argue with that. I think odds wise as well, better than 3-1. That's if you're getting odds on an away stoppage within a 3 round range, better than 3-1. You could be onto something. So yeah, I'd say that if you kind of mix stars from maybe rounds 5 to rounds 8 kind of thing, we're kind of supposed to saying that I'm going for the second quarter of the fight, you're going for the third quarter. But if we were going in thirds, I'd say maybe around 5 to 8, and round 5 to 8 would be bang in the middle of what we're saying. So yeah, not too dissimilar, but maybe slightly better odds for yourself, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think for those yeah for those who are for those who are interested, just for Inoue to win by KO, it's 1 to 9. It's obviously terrible value there. But yeah, rounds 1 to 3 for Inoue is 11 to 4. So decent value there, I think, if you think Inoue is going to kind of go back to stopping guys in the first 3 rounds, but not nothing kind of tremendous. I don't think anyone's gonna be walking away from this fight a millionaire. But we'll see. Paul, good to be joined by you as always. Good luck, as always, and we'll see who's right and who's wrong. Maybe both of us will be wrong. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, mate. All the best.